screen, on my screen. 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 On my screen.
Welcome to a very special episode of On
That's
My
right.
Screen.
22 or 3.
You tell me.
You know I lost count. Boy.
Yeah.
Lost count long ago. Never
But
had it.
as always, 2 new movies.
2 new movies.
Completely related.
Yes.
I would say so.
In some ways.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I mean, shit. Waterworld, and in a lot of ways, well,
Waterworld and
Katrina was kind of a Waterworld in a lot of ways.
Scenario.
Yeah.
What is it? Bad Lieutenant.
Port of Call, New Orleans.
Orleans.
Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Yeah.
And Waterworld.
And Waterworld.
1995's Waterworld.
Man, what was it? 2009?
2009.
Bad Lieutenant. An
Alright.
eclectic collection.
Yeah. I didn't choose.
Some good
so
movies this week.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, some good movies this week, huh?
What do we want to start with?
You want to keep it? You want to do it chronological, or you want to go? I actually have more to say about Waterworld on accident. I didn't mean to, but I really do.
Okay.
I have notes, and so let's do Bad Lieutenant and then Waterworld. Is my
Okay.
idea. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. When did you watch it? You know,
I watched.
how fresh is it?
We watched Waterworld together. I watched Bad Lieutenant a couple days before that, so it's been
Okay.
maybe around a week, a little less.
Okay. All right,
Okay,
bet.
so for me, well, for this actual viewing,
Why'd you recommend it? Yeah.
well, let me tell you when I watched it though. Let me
Oh.
explain something because Port of Call I'd seen before, but didn't really remember anything about it, and this was pretty much a fresh view. Waterworld I'd seen bits and pieces of
Mm-hmm.
a million times, man, on like sci-fi or something as a kid. Like I'd seen parts of it so much, but didn't remember most things about it. But I'd definitely been present to it playing
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
just so many times.
Oh yeah.
Just to get that out of the way, it's kind of a weird thing. But I
Definitely
didn't really
a
remember.
UPN classic or
For me, I just remember.
Channel 33.
I remember this block of time where it was just on the Sci-Fi channel, and I didn't really have that.
But we're starting with Port of Call.
Port
right?
of Call,
Okay,
though. Yeah, we're getting
But-
back around to it. The reason I recommended it was I just kind of wanted to watch it. I had seen it a long time ago, but didn't remember anything about it. Maybe I didn't even finish it because I didn't remember anything. I had recently realized it was Werner Herzog movie, which that was kind of funny.
Hustle.
He actually has a list of non-documentary movies he's directed that's pretty long. It's not like it's something rare
Yeah.
for him to do, but it's still kind of a novelty thing to think about him as this
Yeah.
documentarian occasionally picking up these
Yeah,
movies.
I didn't really know about this side of him. I was
Yeah,
a little shocked.
yeah, exactly.
Like, even when you said it, I was kind of like, I thought you were maybe joking when you said Werner Herzog.
Sounds like a fucking joke,
yeah.
dude.
And then even like when I was looking at like the pictures and like promo stuff, I was like, it almost kind of looks like a dollar bin Walmart
The
movie
promo,
or something.
the like main like photo you see of like the black and white crew against like a city background just says Bad Lieutenant. It looks like I don't think it's the movie people are gonna want to see
Yeah.
if they see it based on that like kind of generic crime drama,
Definitely
whatever that
surprised
is.
me with that
Images.
cover.
Yeah. And for it to be a Werner Herzog movie, it just seemed like a weird one I wanted to throw out and just kind of had it. And then on top of that, it's kind of a Nicolas Cage tour de force with
Yeah.
how he occasionally likes to do
Oh, he
things.
turns it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's himself.
He definitely goes for it.
I was like watching this. I was just like, I officially will no longer stand for anyone saying anything bad about Nick Cage. Like,
Why bother? You know,
Like-
why go after him? He's done too much good for us. What does
Yeah.
it matter if he has bad movies? Don't watch them.
yeah.
You know, he's done too many good performances. The Raising Arizona's, this to an extent, you know, Face Off
Funny
and
is,
kind of stuff.
he'll have moments in this film where it's like, man, he acting his ass off for no reason.
Yeah.
I just felt like, I think one of my notes was like, I feel like during the quote unquote preparation for this role, he was doing a lot of drugs.
He might have
And
actually been
just being
smoking
like,
a little
yeah,
crack or
I'm getting
heroin
into
or
the
whatever.
Character,
Yeah.
Well, his thing is he also loves New Orleans. Like he lives down there. And,
I'd heard that
you know
before,
what I mean?
yeah.
He
I
shoots
didn't-
movies down there. And,
I didn't realize that.
And they did actually film a lot of it there. I mean, I don't recognize much in the way of like New Orleans skyline to be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm assuming at least like that. But I know the movie actually filmed in Louisiana. So
all those like kind of
landmarks.
double-tiered buildings.
Yeah.
That's kind of like
classic.
what I
Yeah, those
associate,
things. Yeah.
Yeah, it really looked good.
Have you seen Bad Lieutenant?
No. And
Okay,
and
me
from what I
neither.
understand, this is completely.
Because we were talking about Abel Ferrara.
Yeah. So he directed the original, and
Yeah.
I do think there was a little tension between
Yeah.
him and the director and the production company about this being like a movie that uses that name, but is
Yeah.
not
Kinda,
related. It's not a
except
sequel. It's just kind of a
about
movie about
another cop
another
that's
dirty
bad,
cop.
or
Yeah.
lieutenant, yeah.
I've heard Bad
Okay.
Lieutenant's an interesting movie. I know it's
But
like
from
a
what I
standout
was
Harvey
reading, it
Keitel.
seems like, drug use, like,
Yeah.
sex with young women.
Vague
and, like,
ties that kind of bind
gambling.
them.
So it's like, I
Yeah.
mean, there's only so much dirty stuff you can do that's interesting, I guess.
That's
but-
why I think this movie kind of what it brings to the table is the Nicolas Cage performance almost entirely
Yeah.
mixed with some weird what I'm guessing is Werner Herzog shit.
Yeah,
like-
there was one scene where I forget if it was like when is it Eva Longoria?
Yeah.
No. Ava Mendes.
Eva Mendes.
But kind of
yeah.
similar kind of body of work, but
But,
Ava
Ava
Mendes.
where she gets the call.
As Frankie.
I swear that was him on the phone.
It
Did you
might have
notice
been.
that?
No.
Like the first guy where he was like, "Oh, are you gonna call him back?" He's like, "I'm here." Don't you want?
It might have been.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
was-
He
it
does
was- it
act a
had
lot
to have
too,
been
which is
him.
kind of weird when you see him pop up. No,
Oh,
I don't
about
know.
him acting, but yeah.
Yeah, he does act
He's
a
got
lot
like
too.
the most distinct voice. I was
Yeah.
like, that's got to be him.
German or whatever. the fuck
Yeah, I
he's
didn't
got
really
going
get
on,
any
Austrian.
clips this week, but
That's all right.
we might
We'll
figure
try to
something
play
out.
something
See,
here
see.
later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of random,
Exhibit.
I liked it
but
a lot.
Exhibit, yeah.
They had a lot of
Big Papa or was Big Fate?
Brad
Big
Dourif.
Fate. Big
Brad
Fate.
Dourif was in here. Even Mendes, Val Kilmer was in
Val
here.
Kilmer,
Yeah,
yeah, and
Val
kind of a
was
weird
cool.
kind of role. He just kind of came and went
That
through,
scene where he wanted to
kill
Exhibit.
fucking, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's kind of a weird dueling, like, kind of morality thing, too, because Nicolas Cage is, like, a dirty cop or whatever,
Yeah.
but he's like, no, we
Yeah,
got to take
we're
him
not-
in and fucking, no, we got to charge him. And
Oh, there's a scene earlier. I think it was Val Kilmer, and he's like, where he's calling the dude Yambos.
yeah, he keeps saying that, yeah. Because he's, like, harassing that dude they brought in for a
Yeah.
marijuana charge.
Yeah.
I really like some of the weird animal stuff, like the crocodile. No,
The
not crocodile. The
alligator.
alligator on the side of the
Alligator.
street. Yeah. And the alligator
iguanas.
cam. Yeah, the iguanas on the table. Yeah, and the iguana cam.
Yeah, some of that was.
It's weird
It's
stuff.
It's like I felt like it was trying to make a sort of weird kind of like street, movie kind of like that anybody could enjoy, but still kind of be artsy.
yeah.
Like put in these weird
Some weird
elements,
shit, yeah. Like the extended scene with the iguana is kind of fun because it'll just be with the iguana. You'll see Nick Cage and all of them just kind of calmly looking out of the scene. So Nick Cage will kind of look down at the camera occasionally.
Yeah.
It's just very strange.
For me, it felt like a Crank type movie.
Yeah.
You
They're,
know,
yeah.
where you're just watching this
Is
man
that
gradually fall apart.
The Jason Statham.
Jason
Statham,
Statham,
yeah.
yeah.
Where he's just, in this case, it's fucking drugs. My boy.
Yeah. Most of the weird stuff I think is it's kind of him being on heroin or smoking crack or whatever it is he's doing at the time.
I do like his duality, I guess, because in the beginning you do get a sense at one point in time, I guess he was a good guy. I mean, he hops in the fucking breaks his fucking spine or
Yeah, I
whatever.
guess he hurts his back jumping in there
Yeah.
to save that guy. It's
And I
stupid.
was
Kind
wondering,
of confusing how that's done.
Is this even gonna matter, or was that?
It's a
supposed to be
weird
why
opening. It's a
he-
really weird opening.
Is that supposed to be why he
mean-
has his drug habit, or why? It's
Yeah,
so
that's the
bad?
idea.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
they put him on Vicodin and
He
stuff,
has,
and he.
He asked the doctor well, how long? And he's like, shit.
Forever.
Yeah, your
forever.
back hurts, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a Louis scene that's a lot like that when he goes to the doctor and he's just like, yeah, you just have to fucking keep taking medicine,
Yeah.
take 4 or 5 a
Mhm.
day, yeah.
But then he runs back into the guy who
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
who tries to help.
That
him.
final line: Do fish have do fish dream? Do
fish
fish have dreams?
Dreams?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I like the gangstery in here. I enjoyed all the various, different types of gangstery going on.
Yeah, him
Yeah.
smoking rocks and
Yeah.
yeah.
An
Snorting
exhibit and his
heroin and-
cohorts. They called him Midge, but
Yeah.
midget.
Midget
fucking-
and
that guy was super expensive. expressive eyes.
In G, yeah.
Yeah.
Every time Nick said G, he was G.
Yeah.
Like he just couldn't. It tickled him pink. G.
Oh yeah, there was a scene where like because he was doing like the betting with Ronaldo Hayes, the point shaving, and that kind of lost me. Like, because he sits out of the game, is that him? Was that him saying like, yeah, I won't do, or was that him actually doing it? You know, because
he may have got legitimately injured. I think it was like it was
Well,
open-ended.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that.
Yeah,
They didn't really explain
it's
what.
like if he sits out the game, is he trying to help Nick Cage by
no,
not?
the way Nick
or-
Cage was responding to that was acting as if it was not beneficial the way he
Yeah.
wanted those. So
But
that
then-
did confuse me.
But then in that scene, like he asked the guy what's happening in the game, and I'm like, is
Yeah.
that supposed to be like a weird thing where
And then
he doesn't want to look himself?
And he goes to sleep and he doesn't know how it ended. That was really kind of a confusing. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't know how that game ended. He comes in
yeah.
and tells him that he won the money. He doesn't think
did.
he did. So that was kind of a weird plot point, actually. I don't understand betting or football. So when they
Yeah.
talked about, like, oh, if he scores this or
Spreads,
does
all
that,
that,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't get the what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I'll let the movie explain it, and it didn't.
I like New Orleans as a setting for this movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's an interesting place.
It's very interesting. There's lots of texture.
It was cool. You know, you don't really see that much
Remind
of
me
it, but
kind of Down by Law.
Yeah,
I
I like that they casted people that actually live there.
it seemed like when he went through those people's houses to go through their backyard to get back into the house, that seemed pretty much like, hey,
yeah.
would y'all mind being in this movie? And your whole house and your whole family, an extended family.
Was
Hell yeah, that's
the guy who works at the newspaper from The Wire in this? You know who I'm talking about? I forgot to look up his name. There's a guy who kind of looked like him. You know who I'm talking about? The light skinned dude.
Nah, I don't.
No, dude. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'll look it up later. But anyways, I liked it a lot. You know, it's a fun movie. It's not that often that you get to see, you know, someone like really going all out. Just
Nick Cage.
yeah,
Yeah.
anybody,
fucking-
you know, like
yeah.
to this level, just like doing this kind of stuff in
Yeah.
movies. You know, it's pretty cool.
I think it's one of my favorite scene reveals in this is when the caretaker lady takes the old lady into her room and she closes the door and Nick Cage is back there furiously electrically shaving.
Behind the fucking.
Yeah. So why is he doing that right then?
I love those gotchas. Like everybody he fucked with just turns out to know somebody. Or,
Oh yeah, like the dude is like, oh, like,
dude, I fucking
Oh,
love
yeah.
that guy, man. What's
Yeah.
What's that fucking?
he was
actor, man?
hilarious. I don't know.
I don't know which
but-
one you're talking about. What dude?
The-
Shea Wingham.
Just like the white.
Oh,
dude,
that dude was he's
yeah,
a great actor.
He was
Michael Shannon
amazing.
was in it too. Holy shit, it's all
Yeah,
coming back
Michael
to me
Shannon.
now. Yeah, but Shea Wiggum was hilarious. He's really funny in the beginning when he's like harassing him. He's really funny when he comes back to tell him, "Hey man, we're
yeah.
good."
Yeah,
Because I guess he's learned that all those guys are dead or whatever.
he just like points at people.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's awesome.
That actor's great. He's been in a
He's so
ton
good.
of stuff recently too.
Yes, he's so good.
Good
I've
for
seen him
him.
in a lot of shit. I just
Great
can't
little
pinpoint
character
it.
actor. Yeah.
I felt like this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. Like this is a movie I would never watch. You
well,
know,
if you
based on
just
the
saw it,
cover.
you're like, no, I'm not gonna fucking watch that. What the fuck? It's a direct to DVD sequel to Bad Lieutenant. This like classic movie I've heard
I
of and
didn't
haven't
know it was
seen.
directed to you.
It's not, but I'm saying it
It
looks
seems
like
like
that.
It
if
looks
you,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Walmart bin movie, and
There's Wesley
you know,
Snipes in this. You know, it's like, what the fuck is this?
and it's shot funny every once in a while, like when they go
Yeah.
to the animals and shit.
Uh huh.
But yeah, bro, I was thoroughly entertained by this film.
Yeah, I thought it was fun too.
I thought it was fun.
It makes me because the main Werner that I'm familiar with is Grizzly Man,
Yeah,
Mm.
that's the
No,
first one I saw.
and then more or less like him talking about other things. You know, I love his voice, and
I've
watching
seen
him
more
talk-
than Grizzly Man, but that's the only
And
one
I've
that's
seen,
coming to
like,
me right now. And yeah, just hearing
I've seen
him
a
talk about
video
other
kind
stuff.
of all about him and Klaus Kinski, and
That's the
understand
thing
they
I've
have
seen.
a lot of stuff together.
I don't know if
but-
he actually did, but I've seen when I was younger. I watched a documentary about him and about Klaus, and I
Mhm.
guess the making of that movie where they moved the boat. You know what I'm talking about?
on the
Fitzgeraldo
river,
or whatever
yeah.
it is. I've seen like bits and pieces of things about him like my whole life, and he's also popped up in a bunch of things. He was the bad guy in Jack Reacher. Did you ever see that with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
He
I
was
see that
randomly
one.
the bad guy. He was in like Parks and Rec for an episode. He was in The Mandalorian. He's always popped up in like so many things as an actor.
That boy stay
So
working.
you just hear his voice.
But
just a
yeah,
weird
it
guy.
makes me want to see like what else he's done.
He did a movie
that's-
called, I think, did he do Rescue Dawn? I should have taken more. I should have written down more stuff he did. But he did a lot of like scripted movies, more than you'd think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look him up, man. We're gonna see some shit, man.
It's like 8 movies that aren't documentaries.
If you had to give it a score.
If?
I mean, I guess.
Do I have to?
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah, it's part of the system, huh?
You want to go first? Or?
Yeah, I'll go. Let me fucking rate it. I picked it.
Your choice.
You know, I should have more to say about it. I ended up fucking falling for Waterworld more here in the fucking notes on accident. I didn't mean to. If I had to rate it, shit, man, I need to make a list of all the ratings so I can really think about this.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's a weird one because it's like...
It's good, but it's not classic cinema.
It's a 79.
There you go.
Okay.
No, it's 79. Yeah, I'm going to stick by that. No. It's 74. It's 74.
Okay.
I want to move down a little bit.
Right.
And you know, it's a great 74, though.
Yeah.
It's
Strong.
like, and I would watch it. It's weird because I would watch it over some movies that are a 95. Like, I don't know what to say.
True.
It's a 74. It's, I'd say Nick Cage's performance, especially in the moments where he really goes, man,
He
fuck
amps
it.
it up.
We're going from normal acting to just balls to the wall.
Eyes
Bonkers
popping out.
acting, yeah, and he really fluctuates pretty
that
hard in
rock
this
talking.
movie. Yeah, when the rock kicks in.
Yeah, I felt like we had some.
Did we?
Do we have? We didn't have any clips from this.
Oh, now I'm the
We
clip man.
Well,
y'all.
let's hear some
Check
clips.
this out.
Yeah.
What are these fucking iguanas doing on my coffee table?
Yeah.
I like when he flicks the iguana. He's like, it's a fucking iguana. He actually
This
hits
wasn't
it.
My favorite.
You should drop dead, you selfish cunt. You fucks, I hate you. I hate you both. I should.
Yeah.
Cut it off right at the good
yeah,
part. I think I
mean-
got another one. Oh, this is my favorite,
Okay.
personally.
Yeah.
My boy Exhibit.
Like the Caucasians rock.
Yeah.
Pin my ride.
Yeah, he was really good in this also.
He was, yeah.
Exhibit's
not
good
bad.
acting, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
I think he can.
I've seen a lot
Actually,
of Exhibit.
I saw a funny clip of him. He was being interviewed, and somebody was asking him like what his worst movie was, and he was like, I forget exactly which one he chose, but he was just like laughing at how bad it was. I was like, I love that.
Sure, he's been in a couple bad ones.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to rate it or? You want
Yeah, well, I don't mind
you
going.
like to rate
Let me
it?
get in the middle.
Don't you like to write, my boy?
You said 74.
I said 74. 79, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm going to break it down. I just want to...
Yeah, I guess it does kind of.
It's got
belong in this-
B-movie kind of...
Yeah, it's like
You know,
I felt like
Noir.
they were trying to do something different.
a lot of people aren't going to want to watch this shit. It's that weird thing, you know?
I feel
It's
like it'll catch you.
But it's just like I'm trying to think
It'll
like
catch you.
how many movies do you get to see like someone smoking crack? Like
Yeah.
the scene where he like cucks the dude,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
and he's like he tries to
Blatant.
run away and he's like you stay and
well,
watch.
You
I'm
watch her. You watch your girlfriend.
I was
That's what he says.
stuff like
yeah.
that. It really kind of like. I mean, I feel like I sound kind of weird, but that really gets to me. You know, like
Really?
Just something you
not
haven't
like
seen.
Gore and
in a
rape?
No, like
Yeah.
in a good way. Like
Ah.
I appreciate seeing that because it's like you would see stuff. I won't say you would see stuff like that in the 70s or whatever, but it's like I feel like it's very rare that you just see weird stuff in movies like that.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
gonna go 79.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough.
I go 79.
I like that. I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna
Yeah, here. Y'all want to hear another clip real quick?
Yeah.
I captured one.
Oh, that boy got him a clip. That boy got him a clip.
Shoot him again. What for? His soul's still dancing.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Soul is still dancing.
Hopefully.
The world's worst stunt double was breakdancing back
Oh, that
there.
dude
Well, but the
breakdancing.
dude
Yeah.
was. I mean,
He was
the
hitting
dude
it
was
though.
like on the floor, so it was.
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, of
I
course
don't even know
not,
if you
yeah.
would call it a.
High ass
Yeah.
Nick Cage.
That's that rock talking.
Mike, I'm starting to see a pattern here with the movies you've been selecting.
What do you mean, man?
They're a bit awesome.
Oh,
You know,
I guess,
off
man.
the
I don't
beaten
know.
path. I would say off the beaten path movies that I would see the cover of and I'd be like, all right, let me.
Oh yeah, there are definitely movies that have terrible covers and
Mhm.
terrible titles sometimes, you know, and
Like this and that Australian movie. and,
Proposition.
Proposition.
Brawl
yeah.
and Cell
Prop
Block
Joe.
99, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that type of
Yeah.
stuff. Like I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying these selections. So just like how I deem Cage's favorites, small stories. I'm gonna deem my boy
We
Mike's
know
movies.
sometimes these movies are more in response, though. You know, like sometimes
yeah.
you gotta have the swimmer. Sometimes you gotta have Mickey and Nicky, Mikey and Nike, or whatever.
yeah.
And then sometimes you gotta have Port of
Fucking
Call,
Port of
New
Call, New
Orleans, Bad
Orleans,
Lieutenant, fucking Nick Cage. You know, so it's more that. You know, I'm
Smoking
kind of
Crack
trying
with Eva
to give us
Mendes.
something different to fucking kind of nibble on. You know.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I would give it more of a. I'm feeling like a 77, babe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like a
like
77. And I like what you said earlier. Some movies you'll rate a 99, but you will enjoy a 77
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
You know, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's just it's a more
It's
enjoyable
not about
film.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
77, 74, 79 over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right, that was good shit.
Moving.
Ready to take a swim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to get
Dive into the depths.
Let's hear it. What a world.
Waterworld.
What a world. What a world. What a world.
I feel like this
What a
video is
world.
gonna
What a
get
world.
struck,
What a
but
world.
hopefully it'll be
What a
worth
world.
it.
What a world.
Well.
Struck into the blue depths of the water world.
Finally entered my realm, Keegan.
Yeah, this is
Mm-hmm.
when we first talked about doing a show. This was like one of the first movies that you talked about choosing, and
You ever seen any of this?
no, I had never seen any.
This
of it.
motherfucker never seen Waterworld.
I had never seen.
This is one of those movies where
Obviously,
like,
I'd heard of it.
yeah,
Right,
a lot of
course.
people.
A lot of people have.
I've talked to a lot of people about it. Kind of just before we recorded, I was just telling some people, "Oh yeah, I'm watching Waterworld, man." They're like, I've never seen that, but my dad puts it on every time. We watch it every time. That's been everybody's experience, Yeah, I've seen the last half of it, 14 times on TV.
On TV,
For some reason,
Okay, so
I bet you're wondering why.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna ask why. Yeah, why did you choose it?
All right, first of all,
I know it's one of your favorites. So
this
it's
is
like,
one of my favorite movies,
Yeah.
but this is a sentimental pick. You know what I mean? It's a nostalgic pick. Had this on VHS
Hell yeah,
Saturday morning after the cartoons go off.
90s kid. Thing
If
for sure.
nothing's going
Waterworld
on,
goes
pop
on.
the Waterworld
Pop the
on.
Water World,
Yeah, man. I
float
enjoy-
around.
And
Float around
I
Kev.
always wanted to watch the extended cut, with all
Ulysses
the
edition.
Ulysses edition. So I
Yeah.
thought this would be a good
You
time
had
to throw
never
it on
seen it
y'all.
before, the full cut.
I seen it, like Mike said, bits and pieces of like deleted scenes on YouTube and shit,
Okay,
but
but
not
never,
in
like,
in context with the
Sure.
Yeah,
film.
I can't imagine I've seen any of this added content before personally because I saw it all on TV. So that was got to be the
Yeah.
theatrical cut,
Mm-hmm. And there were a few different versions, so that's why I recommended this version because, to me, like I've seen the theatrical cut, the VHS cut and the Ulysses cut, and I would say a lot of context is missing from like the theatrical version. So I'm glad we watched this one.
And it, from what I was looking at the page for a little bit that Kevin Costner cut
He
and
did.
like the director like kind of left.
Yeah, I think he ended up stepping in at some point. And
Yeah.
that caused
Costner in the
conflict.
studio cut because he didn't want another
Over-
3-hour film.
Yeah, and also budget related issues.
And like he put a lot of his own money in, and it was like the most
He put in
expensive.
22.
It was the most expensive of the
until
time.
like Titanic, I think.
Titanic.
And the thing that was
Oh, yeah,
happening
that's
with
how you
this
say it.
movie was it was just shat on in the media before it hit the screen because, one, it was the most expensive movie before Titanic.
I saw,
It didn't really recoup its
like
budget.
initially,
two
but
of the-
It has
on the
since, I
VHS
guess.
market,
Yeah, which is kind of a cool thing to see. I know Office Space is another famous example of that.
Yeah.
Movies that do well in the rental space and make it
Mhm.
back eventually. I don't know if you can do that anymore.
that's I
I
saw
don't know if there's
someone kind
another
of talking
chance.
about how that's not. I
There's
think it was,
no second
I think
chance
it was
to make
Matt
it back.
Damon or someone famous kind of.
How you
about
can't
that.
you don't get another go at the rental thing.
Right.
Because when you're on Netflix, it's not like you get you get money for every view. It's just like, yeah, we gave them however much money to show this. I guess I don't really get it though.
Oh, I thought one of the kind of funny because I guess it'd be kind of or just what's his name Kevin
Kev Koss.
Kevin Costner. He became like kind of tied to this project or whatever. and,
Yeah.
like, one of the trivia pieces was saying that
He
they'll-
invested $22 million.
no that though widely called a box office bomb upon its release, even nicknamed Kevin's Gate and Fish Tar after notorious historic flops Heaven's
yeah.
Gate
Ishtar.
and Ishtar. I just thought that was
You know,
funny.
it's nowhere
Fish
near
tar.
it's nowhere near as bad. Even I would be interested in
not bad
watching
at
the
all.
normal cut of it actually, because it's nowhere near as bad as like. It's not one of the worst movies ever made. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, this is just trash from beginning to end. It's actually pretty fun for what it is. But it's interesting that when you hear about it, it's more often than not to treat it like it's some like monumental disaster.
The two problems with this movie is, like I said, one or two disasters happen on set. You know,
it was like super hard to film on the water.
I was gonna
like
say
the atoll
I
was
read
hard
that
to work
Steven
with and all
Spielberg
that.
was like, hey, they went to him for advice and he was like, hey, don't
Don't
film
film
on
on
real
water.
water because I did Jaws, it was fucked up, and he ended up doing. Well, it's not Steven Spielberg, but James Cameron ended up specifically using like a specialized tank thing instead.
Yeah,
But they
for
had
Titanic.
tons of issues because of just
The real water.
filming on
Right.
real water, and they were warned by Spielberg ahead of time. He's like, don't fucking do it.
It was that and the media getting a hold of that and, creating a story. Oh, the most expensive movie of all time. It's a flop. And it was the theatrical cut. A lot of shit was cut out, like Mike said. If you watch the theatrical version and this version, the context of everything is cut out. Number one is, why are they so racist against mutants? You know what I mean?
they
Like, what's
don't
the
really
big
explain
fucking
that
deal?
much. Yeah.
The entire plot line
I mean,
of,
even in this, I mean,
They don't go into
I
it
didn't
that
really
deep here,
get
yeah.
it, but yeah.
They call them like Ictius and Mutato.
I mean, I think
All that stuff, but-
I think they did it pretty well. I mean, it's just normal human nature.
Yeah, just
Yeah, they
that
don't
he's-
over explain it necessarily.
And then you
but-
got the creepy smokers who created a whole religion
I did-
around the
I
shit.
did see like the writers, because even while we were watching, I was like, once I saw the smokers, I'm like, oh, they're very Mad Max-y.
That's the thing, that this movie,
Was
the moment
inspired.
you start watching it, it's more than almost inspired. You start watching it, you're like, okay,
Mad Max on water.
Mad Max on water, Moist Max, or whatever you want to fucking call it, you know?
Max.
But
He's
it's
got his
like,
own vehicle.
but they're straight up, like one of the first things you see on Wikipedia is just like they sat down and had a conversation about creating a Mad Max ripoff to capitalize on that, and they were heavily inspired by it pretty clearly. It is what it is. It's very much like even down to like the way the bad guys are. They don't go as weird.
Dennis Hopper's awesome. in
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, they don't
He
get
is-
too weird.
He is, but he's so much more cartoony than the scenes with Kevin Costner are. So like almost like The Road. He's like, I'll sell this kid and
Yeah.
fucking get rid of it anytime. I'm just
He's
out here to
playing it
sell.
straight.
And Dennis Hopper's like, I'm gonna fucking get that guy.
It's a nice mix, I
It
think.
is a nice mix. But it's very different though, and
And
it cut
he's-
to him.
Like,
He's
I
really
was thinking,
hamming
like,
it
he's
up.
actually like a great actor, like
He definitely
I
takes
was
over the
thinking,
screen.
because it's been a while since I've actually seen it in completion, but Blue Velvet, like, I know he has like some iconic scenes
Never
where he's
seen
like
it, but I know
going,
he's- yeah.
really going in.
I was thinking more of Mario Brothers.
Oh, I haven't
This is
seen
more.
that.
This is more that kind of.
And then
Bowser.
I
He's
saw-
Bowser.
I saw
dude.
Easy Rider not too long ago, so
Okay,
it's
see,
like
I haven't seen his good
like
ones.
kind of like thinking of him as a younger guy and like a more chilled,
Yeah.
pot smoking.
I know
hippie
more
guy,
in like. Well, that's how he was in Apocalypse Now. I guess I've seen him in that
Yeah.
one recently.
I haven't seen that in a long time either. But Waterworld is cool. I think we can't. I would be remiss if we didn't bring up Patrice O'Neal and his
Talking about
his love of
Waterworld,
it. That's
yeah.
kind of how I know of it and why I like, and even just like because he would bring up Waterworld and his love of it, but then a lot of times he would also just kind of randomly bring up Jean Triplehorn.
Yeah, I was gonna
to be
say, I
like,
recognize
what
that
happened
name.
to her.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of didn't know who that was.
I didn't-
And like to actually see her, I'd
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
oh, of course.
The
like,
name stood
his
out to me
favorite
when I
movie.
looked it up because of that fucking show.
Yeah. But I saw like a thing that like she didn't want to be nude in it. So like that scene was like
Yeah.
a stand-in, and she was even like standing there to like give the stand-in like something to put on.
I just
But she
forgot-
like looked at all these different butts to like
Yeah.
choose because she wanted it to
Interesting.
look like hers.
a nice one.
Yeah.
I just forgot so much about like the key. I didn't remember he had gills. I didn't remember. There's that scene where he like
Webbed
jumps
feet.
into water, swims. Yeah, he can swim
Swims
like a
like a
motherfucker,
fucking
and
dolphin.
he flies out of the water kind of early on. There were just things I didn't really remember about that were nice to kind of retake in.
Yeah, when he was like, he's got the Millennium Falcon of boats.
It really does though. That's a real kind of boat. I actually
Yeah.
wrote that's like a Trimaran or Trimaran or something. They
It's a real
built
kind
a
of boat.
real one. So they built a couple. They built one that could really just get going and like really sail. And then they built another one that was legit but covered in special effects shit. And then they could set up the like thing he does to do the sail, the spinning thing. They could actually film that happening, and then when it locked into place, it could legit sail. So they had like a lot of those. One of them's still in operation. They like took it and kind of like made
They
it.
have a theme park too with the Atoll set.
So wait, no,
somewhere.
so that's what I was gonna say. So Universal
I thought
Studios
they
has
blew it up though.
They blow it up every Sunday. Actually, it's a show. No, have you not seen that? There's a Waterworld. It's called like Waterworld: The War at the Sea or something.
Something like
it's
that.
It's a sequel to Waterworld, and it's like an action show you go see at Universal Studios. You know what I'm talking about? Like you sit in the bleachers and there's actors that perform. And they ride around jet skis on this water set.
It's not a movie. It's just
not a movie. You
okay.
pay a ticket. But here's the thing. I'm fucking certain I saw that as a kid, and the only way I could have is if it was at Six Flags Over Texas. Because I remember, like, the jet skis, and I remember a big explosion and being like, what the fuck? This is crazy. I'm pretty sure it was the Waterworld show, but it's actually a pretty popular show.
You never went
it's a
to
big
Universal?
No, I've never been to that. So
It's at Universal?
But, yeah, it's at, like,
I believe
4
so.
different Universal Studios, like, to this day, I think.
But the original set is at one of those theme parks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to actually be a cool thing. There's, like, it has a big finale where there's, like, a plane takes off and there's an explosion. The plane lands in the water, and you're like, ah.
You like your boy Jack Black in here?
I see.
Yeah,
I
was
couldn't
crazy.
catch him.
That was
I
crazy.
missed him. I knew he was in it, but
once
I missed
heard his
him.
voice, I was like, "Oh, that's
I was
Jack
looking
Black,
for
right?"
him.
Once he was
missed him.
on that, see that couch scene is not in the theatrical cut, so most people just see the guy flying the plane and they don't realize it's Jack Black.
Oh, so the dude flying the plane trying to shoot the thing was
Yeah,
Jack Black?
that's Jack Black.
Okay, he was Jack Blackie,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize he was actually Jack Black.
Yeah.
I was just looking for it there.
It was
okay.
cool to finally see because I had always heard the paper.
Beeper, beeper.
45 minutes with the wee on.
With the wee one.
Oh, God.
I like the like I said, the added context. Like in the very beginning when the Atoll had the meeting about what to do with the Mariner,
Yeah.
and Helen spoke up, and everybody just started unanimously shitting on her. Like,
I
you
did.
know what I mean? I
saw
love that too.
I saw like in the trivia, I saw that like her actual back tattoo. It's like it really is some Chinese symbol, and like
Yeah.
the part of it that you could read actually is Everest.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I guess that's part of the added context. That's one of the things Wikipedia says, that the Mount Everest thing, it's not clear in the original cut. It's just like dry land. It's never clearly made to be
that
Mount
plaque
Everest.
isn't there in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
You don't know that's Mount Everest.
And that's Hawaii they actually just roll up to. It's just a cool place in Hawaii.
The whole scene with, I'm going to name you Ulysses. That's not in the theatrical cut. None of that shit is.
That's what I heard.
You like those action scenes, didn't you, boy? I saw you.
Yeah, it was cool.
I saw it when
They're
they attacked
pretty
that.
fun.
When they attacked that atoll, boy. When they brought that ramp out.
Yo,
I
that
saw
was
you.
the craziest shit when they set up the ramp for the fucking.
The
And you
fucking
know what's
jet
funny is
skis
some of
and
those
shit.
guys just fuck up for no reason. They hit the ramp and then kind of mess up and then hit the side of the thing.
Yeah.
That is so.
What
just
about when
the
they went
show.
underwater and they went under that motherfucker? And
Well, when they were hanging out
like
underwater,
when
and
they're-
when they were stealthing underwater and breathing.
Or even like when they had like the dead bodies waving.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They had a lot of cool
They had them
stuff.
Home Alone, kind of a setup on
Yeah.
the dead bodies.
They had a lot of cool stuff
It was
going
a lot
on.
of fun little sequences.
I love the soundtrack here. The score. I think it's just it gets that
inspirational.
aquatic vibe. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Post-apocalyptic aquatic vibe.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Was the scene?
Yeah, you hate it. Look at you. Look at his face.
No. Was the scene where he like uses himself as bait to get eaten
that
by
big
the
fish?
giant monster fish? Was that in the original movie?
Yeah, that was.
And then when he's inside of it, he shoots it with his explosive harpoon. What the
Yeah.
fuck was that?
Yeah, he had like a two-way harpoon.
Okay.
Even Keys, but like 30 seconds before this, he's like, man, why don't they fish?
Yeah,
He's like-
that fish had crazy teeth to be getting fucking eaten up by.
Yeah.
But think about it.
He did.
Who would
though.
best know the seas
Mad sushi.
than the fish man?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can breathe and shit.
He
But
knows
I was
what's
kind of
going
thinking,
on.
I was like, is he not going to eat fish because he's
Hell no, he turned
He's
that bitch
man-fish.
up.
Oh shit!
a man fish?
He eating that eyeball like a fucking olive.
Cannibalism.
Sucking that olive juice
Yeah.
out that eyeball.
That
Yeah,
tomato
that's
scene.
crazy.
A lot of these stunts, these action pieces were, like Mike said, they were very expensive. You know, they were not using fucking.
They're blowing up a lot of stuff out on the water.
They're
you know.
blowing some shit up, man.
Yeah, a lot of ski-doos or whatever were getting thrown around.
Smokers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that.
It was cool. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed a lot of it.
Makes
yes.
me want to see The Postman, which,
Yeah.
According
That gets
to-
brought up in the
according
same.
to them, I think is Waterworld on the land.
Yeah. Instead of
Basically,
like
that's
a
what
jet
people
skis
say.
on a horse.
I was gonna do that movie, but I don't don't know.
You've seen it?
I've never seen.
I've never
Hustle.
seen it.
Okay.
Never
I think
seen
it's
it.
probably not actually as fun.
Huh.
That's Waterworld.
That's the
I just get
vibe
the
that I
feeling.
get from it.
Because
Like, they would
ultimately,
always
he's
talk
just gonna be
about-
he's sitting in a cabin or something sometimes. Where Waterworld, at least like, hey, he's on a
Fucking water
floating fucking barge, you know,
with a
and-
badass boat.
yeah, and
Dennis Hopper, fucking
Dennis.
one eye.
yeah, Karina.
I think I saw that. They considered Sam Jackson for that, but I think he was doing Die Hard with a Vengeance. Or
Okay,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
the-
wow.
Die Hard of Vengeance.
Yeah.
Is the
Well,
one
that
he's
was
in,
worth
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a good decision.
Beeper.
Nothing's free in Waterworld.
Yeah.
It's pure dirt.
Yeah, like when I was like, they're freaking out over the dirt, but then he's got a tomato plant. Like what?
Yeah.
How is that?
No, he
going
has.
over?
It's not a tomato plant. It's limes.
But then he bought the tomato
Oh,
plant.
I don't
okay,
know if
okay,
it's
okay.
in dirt. Like maybe it's in
Yeah.
some kind of weird
That's what-
substrate.
But yeah.
Like that shit they were dumping their bodies into.
Well, the idea is that
Yeah,
he
I
can
don't
just.
think it was
The
that.
idea is
It's
that
like fertilizer.
even though they were like breathing underwater with the skis, they can't go as deep as he can just swim. So none of them have seen that there's just like all the soil
Buildings and shit.
that used to be down there is
Civilization,
still
yeah.
down there. So you can just go grab money or whatever, but he can grab the soil and put it into a pot.
Right. And
Yeah, and it made sense too because whatever limes are used for scurvy.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
yeah, hey,
I didn't
do you
know.
know?
That's why they call
Some sort of vitamin.
the British limeys.
Oh shit, is that why they do
Yeah.
that? I actually
Yeah.
didn't know
That.
that.
I knew they were for scurvy, but I didn't make that connection with this movie
Yeah.
till now. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, learning.
If
You had to
if you had
score
to
it?
numerate it.
Oh,
1
you
out
want
of
to put it on
100.
me, boy?
0
I mean,
to
I guess
100.
it's your choice. I don't mind starting. I wouldn't have watched this movie. I mean, eventually, just because I do love like hearing Patrice talk about it and like just to finally kind of see it. Like we watched Face Off.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that a lot. But
Mutation.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. Where did I go? 79
on the other one, yeah. Think about that.
I'm just gonna go 70. I'm gonna go 70.
Protocol Waterworld.
That's hate right there.
That's not.
No, I
hate.
get it. I
That's
get it,
hate.
dude. I get where you're coming from.
I'm not really like a quest
No, I really get where you're coming from.
adventure movie guy, but I did enjoy it. You know.
Okay, boy. I'm talking about.
This is the Ulysses cut.
Yeah.
too,
Ulysses
for
cut.
knowing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Good luck finding that.
Yeah, fucking fan cut all the. You know,
Yeah,
a
good
couple
luck finding
scenes
that
did
on
not
Netflix.
belong in here. I will say a couple scenes really just like you can tell when the soundtrack cuts and it's just them talking with the sounds of the ocean. It's like
okay.
I see
Something
what's
happened
going
here.
on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I respect the 70. Don't worry. This movie is not everybody's cup of tea. This is the very definition of a blockbuster to me, a Hollywood blockbuster, summertime movie, big ass budget, stunts, like you said, quest type fucking storyline. You know, I gotta save the princess type shit. I personally would give it like an 88. You know what I'm saying?
I
Go
think
ahead
that's
and
a
hate.
sentimental 88, but that's cool.
It's okay.
That's
You're
not-
allowed to do that.
Well, I just can't think of like much that this movie did like wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
what it accomplished? It set out to accomplish a few things. Like, all right, it's got great stunts.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the story? What's wrong with the? You know what I mean? What's going on? You know what I mean?
What was right with it?
Yeah, I was
Back
gonna
when it was not that wrong, but not that right either. A lot of blue, a lot of brown.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it though. I
I'm
also
open to the
I had a lot of fun
criticism.
though. That saying.
I'm open to the criticism. You know, it is a nostalgic pick for me, but I'm just saying, when we rate movies, and like Mike used to say on the old episodes, it's like this rating system that we
Yeah.
have. Like each movie, it's its own different thing. Like what did
Yeah,
it
of
set
course.
out to accomplish? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
And did it do it well? Did it do it good? And I think it did it well, in
Yeah.
my honest opinion. So yeah, 88.
Okay,
Can't argue with that.
I get it. I get it.
I like Moist Max.
Moist Max.
So I'm gonna give Moist Max a 72. I really like it. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. And I liked all the stunts, and it was just fun, and it's just a nice little derivative movie out on the water, and it's a relic of its time. You know, it's Kevin Costner. It's nice and nostalgic.
Mhm.
Dennis Hopper. bunch of ladies who they just didn't let make any more movies for some
Like
reason.
Triple
You know,
Horn.
yeah, and the girl too. She was in like Karina, and some other stuff. You know, and they just like she got older, and I don't know. Maybe she did make a bunch of shit.
I was
don't
telling
know.
Keegan, this is a very like non-feminist movie. Like these women are taking the back seat to these fellas.
It's not- I like when he's like, she's trying to barter for like the survival of the girl, and he's not saying shit. She's like, "What can I do? I'll give you this. I'll give you that." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so do you want
I won't
that?" And she just starts disrobing and like go downstairs and all this stuff, and he hasn't said shit, you know. And she's like, I don't know. That was those
Trying to
those
get
were
that
kinda
fish
weird.
stick.
Yeah,
But later
exactly.
he does the sentimental thing.
That
Like, well,
sashimi.
you didn't want me. You didn't want me.
He starts liking them pretty quickly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
After like trying to kill them and sell them off brutally like multiple times. But he had a Mad Max and he had to come back and save the day. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know if I'd say it's like a good movie. It's definitely a movie that they were sitting there trying to figure out how to make while they were doing it. I feel like, they're running into issues and sort of trying to solve them. But I mean, it came together pretty well, at least in this Ulysses cut, but I don't know. I'm going to need another 5 years before I watch it again, you know? But when I do, it's going to be good. And if it comes on for some reason between then and now, you know,
You might watch
I'll
a scene
hang out.
or two.
I might hang out. If I'm walking by a TV and it's randomly playing on TV because I'm back in 2000 or whatever, I'll definitely watch it.
You got
I mean, I
cable
enjoyed
again.
it, but I just feel like it needs to be a place where it goes in the grand scheme of things. And I don't really have any nostalgia other than it was some shit I didn't like that was playing on TV when I was a kid. I wasn't really interested. I didn't like look up to the screen and see Kevin Costner on legit jet ski and be like, my hero, there he goes. And I just got back to my Legos or whatever I was doing, you know.
But it does seem like the story of it is very interesting. Just like the fact that it's like it could have been, like. It seems like it, like from what they were trying, it could have been like the next Star Wars or something.
That's what they wanted
know?
to do. That's kind of, I think
Like-
that's one of the most interesting things about it is knowing
Or
like,
they're-
how much of a struggle
like
it was.
they wanted another Mad Max. Like there was just Fury Road. They could have wanted Waterworld. Aquatic Demise.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Well,
like,
they
whatever.
wanted like 4 more. You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
Waterworld.
It's cool to see that like they were trying for something.
Water
that was gonna
Girl,
continue.
Waterworld, wet again.
yeah. Wet again.
Waterworld, more water.
The atoll strikes back.
I
Water
watched a
levels
little-
rising.
Maybe it would have been a crossover with Mad Max. At
More
one point.
ice melted.
But it was fun. Yeah.
It was really fun, but it's just something about it has to be put in its place.
If I could say one more thing about Waterworld, since I'm the Waterworld defender here, I did watch a
Water Warrior.
Water Warrior. I did watch a documentary, and this is not you guys, but a lot of hate for this movie is pre-baked because it is a meme.
Sure.
And
It is meme-y
I
stuff
did
for
watch
sure.
a documentary about the media onslaught of this movie, and honestly, bro, this is one of those movies where it was doomed from the start.
They wanted to see
because
Kevin fail.
They wanted to see Kevin Costner fail. He was kicking ass in the early 90s. This is the most expensive movie ever made. Couple things blow up on the set. Less shit on this movie, and by the time it came out, nobody fucking wanted to watch it.
Dances with jet skis.
Basically, yeah. But I understand people's views on it. I'm not saying it's you
So that
guys,
was
but a lot of
Dances
people
with
hate
Wolves,
this movie off top.
Field of Dreams. Is that him? Field of Dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it Bull Durham? Oh, it's
Bull Durham is
Bull
him
Durham.
for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
Bull Durham.
I don't know anything
He
about
did
it.
another
It's him.
3-hour movie before this too, like a 92.
Yeah. I think with that same director. He had
Remember.
worked with this director before or something. But
He would work with him again, actually, with some sort of show or something
okay.
later.
Until next episode.
2 more movies.
Waterworld.